Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're over 70 and feeling like your energy's slipping away faster than a kid chasing an ice cream truck on a hot summer day, you're in the right place, because today we're diving deep into something sneaky. 5 habits that might be quietly draining your battery without you even noticing. You might be thinking, come on, I'm just getting older. That's how it works, right? But hold up a second. That's not the full picture. Sure, aging comes with its quirks, but it doesn't mean you have to feel wiped out, foggy, or like you're trudging through mud all day long. In fact, there are folks in their 70s, 80s, even pushing 90s, who are out there living their best lives, gardening, dancing, chasing grandkids, full of pep and zest, while others are stuck scratching their heads, wondering where their get-up-and-go disappeared to. Here's the kicker. It's not always about luck, fancy genes, or some mythical fountain of youth potion. Nope, it's about the little things you do every single day. Sometimes without even clocking that they're working against you. These sneaky energy thieves, they're hiding in plain sight, blending into your routine like uninvited guests at a party. But once you spot them, and trust me, you will, you can kick them to the curb and reclaim that spark you deserve, that bounce in your step that says, I've still got it. So grab a comfy seat, maybe a cup of tea or a cool glass of water, and let's get into it. Oh, and if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Tap it, ring that little bell, and let's make sure you don't miss a single tip to keep you thriving, not just surviving. Ready? Let's roll. First up, let's talk about something so basic you might not even give it a second thought. Skipping breakfast. Or worse, grabbing something that's more sugar bomb than actual fuel. I get it. Mornings can feel like a whirlwind, even if you're not rushing out the door anymore. Maybe you're not hungry right when you roll out of bed, or you figure, I'll eat later. But here's the real talk. If you're skipping that first meal, or reaching for a donut, a sugary cereal bar, or one of those pastries that look innocent but hit like a freight train, you're setting yourself up for an energy crash before the clock even strikes noon. Think about it. Your body's been fasting all night long while you were dreaming about the good old days or whatever else pops into your head at 3 a.m. It's begging for something to kickstart the engine, to get the juices flowing. Without it, you're basically running on empty, and that sluggish, I need a nap feeling creeps in faster than you can say coffee. Take my friend Linda. She's 72, sharp as a tack, but she used to skip breakfast all the time, because she thought it'd help her save calories or keep things light. By mid-morning, though, she was yawning like it was bedtime, dragging her feet, and ready to call it a day before she'd even started. One day I caught her mid-yawn and said, Linda, what's the deal? She shrugged, but I nudged her to try something different. She started her mornings with a bowl of oatmeal. Just plain old oats, nothing gourmet, tossed in a handful of walnuts and some fresh berries. Took her 5 minutes to whip up. She told me later it was like flipping a light switch. Suddenly, she had the energy to tackle her garden instead of just staring at it from the porch, wishing the weeds would pull themselves. Why does this work? Real food, think whole grains, a bit of protein, some healthy fats, gives you steady, slow-burning energy, not those wild roller coaster ups and downs you get from a sugar rush. So next time you're tempted to skip breakfast or grab something quick and sweet, hit pause. Ask yourself, do I want to feel like a zombie by 10 a.m., or do I want to power through my day? If you're leaning toward the power option, and I know you are, try something simple. A slice of whole grain toast with peanut butter, a scrambled egg with a handful of spinach, or even a yogurt with some fruit sprinkled on top. It's not about a big production. It's about giving your body what it needs to shine. Small move, massive payoff. Now, let's shift gears to sneaky habit number 2. Sitting too long. Yep, I'm throwing some shade at that cozy recliner, that perfect couch cushion with your name written all over it, or that kitchen chair you've claimed as your throne. Look, I totally get it. After 70, you've earned the right to kick back, put your feet up, and let the world spin without you for a bit. Who wouldn't want to sink into that comfort after years of hustling? But here's the catch. Sitting for hours on end isn't just resting your body, it's draining it. Slow and steady, like a leaky faucet you don't notice until the bill comes. Studies back this up. Staying glued to one spot for too long messes with your circulation, slows your metabolism to a crawl, and even takes a swing at your mood. Ever notice how you feel stiff, creaky, or even a little foggy after a long stretch of binge-watching your favorite show? That's your body waving a red flag, saying, "Hey, get me moving." Take George. He's 76, a retired mechanic with hands that could fix anything. But he used to spend half his day parked in his favorite armchair, flipping through channels or reading the paper. He'd tell me, "I just don't have the energy to move anymore. It's gone." I'd nod, but I wasn't buying it. One day, his grandkids showed up, all bouncy and loud, and dragged him outside for a short walk around the block. He grumbled at first, classic George, but when he got back, he looked at me and said, "You know what? I feel better, lighter somehow." That was his light bulb moment. He started a little trick. Every hour or so, he'd stand up, stretch his arms, shake out his legs, or take a lap around the living room. Nothing intense, no gym membership required, just enough to wake his body up. Guess what? He's not dozing off mid-afternoon anymore, and he's even started tinkering in his garage again. The fix here is so easy, it's almost ridiculous. Set a timer if you're the forgetful type. Every 30 minutes or so, get up, wiggle your toes, roll your shoulders, or stroll to the kitchen for a glass of water. Maybe do a little dance if you're feeling sassy. It's not about running a marathon or breaking a sweat. It's about keeping the engine humming instead of letting it stall out. Next time you're parked in front of the TV or lost in a good book, ask yourself, could I sneak in a quick stretch right now? Trust me, your body will thank you, and you'll be amazed how much lighter and livelier you feel. Alright, let's dive into sneaky habit number 3, not drinking enough water. I can already hear you groaning. Really? Water? That's your big reveal? Yep, it's that simple, but it's sneaky as heck because dehydration doesn't exactly announce itself with a loudspeaker, especially after 70. Your thirst signals start playing hide and seek. They're not as loud or obvious as they were back in the day, so you might not even realize you're running low until you're already feeling tired, cranky, or like your brain's stuck in molasses. Water's not just about keeping your mouth from feeling like a desert. It's like the oil that keeps your body's machinery purring. Without it, your muscles ache more, your joints creak louder, your brain slows down, and your energy takes a nosedive. Picture this. My neighbor Ruth, 71, a spitfire who loves her quilting circle, used to sip coffee all day long, black, strong, 3 cups minimum, and barely touched water. She'd complain about feeling wiped out by lunchtime, blaming it on old age catching up. I'd see her shuffling around, looking like she'd rather nap than stitch, and finally asked, "Ruth, how much water are you drinking?" She laughed, waved me off, but I pressed her. Turns out those 3 cups of coffee were dehydrating her faster than she could blink, and she wasn't replacing it with anything. Her doctor clued her in. Caffeine's great, but it's not a substitute for H2O. She started keeping a water bottle nearby, aiming for a few glasses a day, nothing crazy, and bam. Suddenly she's got the energy to potter around her sewing room again, even showing off her latest quilt at the community center. Here's a quick trick. Keep a pitcher or a fun glass on your counter, right where you can't miss it. Add a slice of lemon, a few cucumber rounds, or a sprig of mint if plain water feels like a chore. How much should you aim for? A good rule of thumb is about half your body weight in ounces. Say, if you're 140 pounds, that's 70 ounces, or roughly 8 cups spread out over the day. Don't chug it all at once. Just sip steadily, like you're watering a plant. Next time you feel that afternoon slump sneaking in, ask yourself, when's the last time I had a glass of water? Chances are, a quick drink could perk you right up, and you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. Sneaky habit number 4 is a heavy hitter, letting stress pile up without giving it an escape hatch. Life after 70 isn't always a walk in the park. Health worries pop up, family stuff gets complicated, the news is a non-stop roller coaster, and sometimes even the weather's enough to make you grumble. If you're bottling all that up, it's like carrying a backpack stuffed with bricks. Every step gets harder, and your energy's the first casualty. Stress doesn't just mess with your head, it physically wears you out. Your heart's racing like it's late for a bus, your shoulders tense up like you're bracing for a punch, and before you know it, you're too exhausted to enjoy the day, or even that cup of coffee you looked forward to. I met a guy named Carl. He's 74, a retired teacher with a laugh that fills the room, but he used to stew over every little thing. Bills piling up, the news blaring bad headlines, his creaky knees acting up, you name it. He worried about it. He'd tell me, I feel like I'm running on empty by noon, like someone pulled the plug. I'd see him pacing his porch, brow furrowed, and finally said, Carl, you've got to let that go somehow. He started this quirky little habit. Every time he felt the stress bubbling up, he'd step outside, take 10 deep breaths, slow, deliberate ones, and watch the clouds drift by for a minute. Sounds silly, right? Like something out of a meditation app ad? But it worked. Those tiny breaks stopped the stress from snowballing into a full-on avalanche, and he started feeling lighter, like he could handle whatever came his way without crumbling. You don't need a fancy fix here. No yoga retreat or therapy session required, though those are great if you're into them. Find your own mini escape. Maybe it's humming your favorite tune from the 60s, doodling on a notepad while you sip tea, or petting your dog until he's the one tired out. The point is to let that tension leak out before it drags you down into the muck. Next time you catch yourself frowning, clenching your jaw, or replaying that same worry on loop, hit pause and ask, what's one tiny thing I can do right now to shake this off? Could be as simple as stepping onto your porch or closing your eyes for a deep breath. You've got this. Don't let stress steal your spark when you've got so much light left to shine. Finally, sneaky habit number 5's a doozy. Skimping on sleep, or pretending you don't need as much as you actually do. I hear this one all the time. Oh, I'm fine with 5 hours. I don't need more than that. Or maybe, I'll catch up with a nap later. But here's the cold hard truth. Sleep isn't optional. And cutting corners after 70 is like trying to run your phone on 10% battery all day long. Sure, you might power through, stumble along, but you're not exactly thriving. You're surviving, and barely at that. Quality sleep isn't just about clocking hours. It's about recharging your body, sharpening your mind, and keeping your energy steady so you're not dragging through the day like a zombie. If you're tossing and turning, waking up groggy, or relying on naps to patch the gaps, that's a sneaky energy thief right there, siphoning off your vitality when you're not looking. Take my Aunt Marie. She's 78, a firecracker who used to run a bakery, and she'd stay up late watching reruns of old sitcoms, thinking she'd catch up with a cat nap in the afternoon. She'd wake up feeling like a truck hit her, achy, foggy, and grumpy as all get out. I'd visit, and she'd snap, I'm just old, that's all. But I wasn't buying it. One day, I sat her down and said, Marie, what if it's not age? What if it's sleep? She rolled her eyes but humored me, set a bedtime like she was a kid again, ditched the TV an hour before, and turned her bedroom into a no-phone zone. Took a week to adjust, but now? She's up at 7 a.m., bright-eyed, brewing coffee, and ready to tackle her day. Sometimes she's even out walking the dog before I've had my first sip. The fix isn't rocket science, but it takes a little intention. Aim for 7 to 8 hours. Keep a routine like clockwork, and make your bedroom a sleep haven. Cool, dark, quiet, no screens flashing in your face. If you're a night owl who loves the late hours, ease into it. Shift your bedtime back 15 minutes each night till you hit that sweet spot where you wake up feeling like $1,000,000. Maybe toss those heavy curtains up, or grab an eye mask if the streetlights sneak in. Next time you're tempted to scroll your phone till midnight or watch just one more episode, ask yourself, do I want to feel like a rock star tomorrow or a zombie stumbling through the fog? Sleep's your secret weapon, your backstage pass to energy that lasts. Use it and watch how it transforms your days. All right, there you have it. 5 sneaky habits that might be stealing your energy after 70, laid out with all the juicy details and some dead simple ways to fix them right now. You don't need to flip your whole life upside down or buy some expensive gadget. Just tweak 1 or 2 things and watch how much brighter, sharper, and livelier you feel. Maybe it's sipping water instead of that 3rd coffee, standing up to stretch during your favorite show, or giving yourself permission to wind down before bed. Small moves, massive wins. Those little shifts add up faster than you'd believe. So what's your next step? Drop a comment below. Tell me which habit hit you like a lightning bolt, or share your own energy-boosting trick that's kept you going strong. I read every single one, and it lights me up to hear from you. It's what keeps this channel rolling. If you love this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's keep this energy party going strong. Catch you in the next one.